Alright, I am back with another Destiny 2 video, not a Marvel's Avengers video. As you see in the background, I'm about 30 seconds into trying to play with Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, in today's update. Don't know if that'll be worth a video or not in the end, but I did want to comment on what I figured would happen today, and did happen, the arrival of a Destiny 2 finale cutscene, which features the end of this seasonal storyline and sort of the beginning of next season, but not really. We didn't get anything definitive. I feel like probably as I'm recording this, Bungie will be like, oh, no, we're going to drop the season trailer or something. But it was just one final cutscene. There was no final mission. And I don't know if I was super shocked with what happens, but the way it happens is kind of strange. Okay, so this is one of those animated cutscenes, and that's kind of unusual because those are usually implemented to tell some story that happened in the past, like when Bungie's telling the old stories about Saints, or the old stories about Mithrax and their past lives and things like that. They don't usually tell currently developing plot lines like that. Zavala had that too with his background. So it was a little strange to be this is the next thing that happens told in this style. And I assume that's a budget thing because it costs a lot more to do a full in-engine, fully voiced cutscene. Here, the voiceover was from Saints. I'll be showing it here. And it starts with yeah, we gave the Elixni a bunch of stuff, which, as we know from the community event, was not that much stuff. And then Mithrax figured out what to do with the relics, and then extracted a bunch of darkness from them. These are remnants of Nezarec. Put them in a tea, and then fed the tea to Osiris, which woke him up from his coma, which he has been in since Savathun left his body. At least for now, this seems like it is the old Osiris, the actual real Osiris, and the darkness tea that he drank gave him the power to see Savathun's thoughts, fears, memories, whatever that she experienced when she was inhabiting his body. And one piece of that knowledge, I mean, that's a ton of knowledge. She was around during the collapse and stuff. That's he should know a bazillion things now. But the most relevant piece of knowledge here was the existence of a colony on Neptune. Surprise! Except not really, because that was already revealed at the beginning of the season with the Lightfall reveal. And even the promotional materials mentioned something about visions of hope from Osiris that he was going to tell us about Neptune. We did know Savathun knew about Neptune because she talks, one of her two truths and a lie thing was the last city is not the last city. And that turned out to be true, I guess. And the other option was Rasputin was going to tell us, because this was also knowledge that Rasputin had, as shown in The Witch Queen, where we get some hidden message about Nephele Station. Nephele is a cloud nymph in mythology. So Rasputin knew about this too. So maybe next season isn't Rasputin based. We're not. I mean, maybe he has more knowledge about it than Savathun. I don't know. I don't think we definitively can say after this cutscene we absolutely know what next season is going to be now, despite a bunch of Rasputin hints this season and recently and over the past few months and stuff. I don't think we could say definitively that's what's happening. And so I don't know how I feel about this. Okay, the one good thing was it was a very, very touching reunion between Saint and Osiris. They you woke them up. They got to reunite after all this time apart. We had our first on-screen exo-human kiss and Saint Osiris kiss, cementing that relationship. Very good. That's very cool to see in an actual game display. I know Bungie had to really bend over backwards way back in the Activision days to avoid confirming gay relationships because of different countries and blah, blah, blah. And now they're really leaning into it. And this is really good to see them able to do something like this, even though kissing any EXO, regardless of gender, I just don't really know how that works. That doesn't seem like that would be enjoyable. That's a whole other conversation for another day. So that part was touching. I don't know how I feel about just the end result of the Nezarec thing being darkness tea that he drinks and it wakes him up and it gives him the exact memories he needs to lead us into Lightfall. I thought there would be a little more to it with the Nezarec stuff. I guess it's possible that maybe there are some unwelcome side effects from drinking a tea made out of the remains of a dead disciple of darkness. Seems like that wouldn't come without some manner of consequences. However, they are not doing a thing like Nezarec has now possessed Osiris and is walking around his body. Like, I thought they couldn't pull that trick twice, so I was not really expecting that to happen, but still, this was the way that they woke Osiris up, which was another theory. Missing from the equation entirely was Ido. There were some hints that maybe this ritual would have something to do with Ido, like it would go wrong or be dangerous and affect her in some way and give her powers, or I don't know, like something like that, but Ido wasn't here at all. This was all Mithrax, and I don't really know what the deal is with Nezarec from here. I would sort of hope that there's more to him and more to his return than just his remains being made into darkness tea. But I don't think we can know one way or the other yet. I guess I'm not really gonna keep a ton of expectations high for that, just because that always backfires. So maybe this is just it. Maybe this was just the whole thing was just to revive Osiris and give him this knowledge that we need to find people in Neptune. Again, at the time I'm recording this, there are no definitive declarations about next season. So far, everything is completely under wraps. We do not know Bungie's plan for reveals. It could happen at any point this week. They could talk about stuff in the TWAB. They could do the day of reveals again that everyone is kind of tired of, I think. And I don't know. I've talked about the secrecy stuff before, where I wrote a whole article this morning about, like, I don't believe in this, like, moving the last thing that happens to the week before the next season, because it creates this ridiculous gap where we just had to wait, a month or 5 weeks or whatever for a 90-second cutscene that really didn't seem like it needed to be kept that much of a secret to that point, and it also really didn't spoil next season. So, like, why did we do this? Like, why was this positioned this way? Why couldn't we have spent the last month, like, slowly learning what next season was about? Doesn't really make sense to me. So I don't know. I didn't really love this. The only good thing was the Saint and Osiris reunion itself, but the story thing, like the end result of the Nezarec relic thing, that didn't really land for me, and that just felt like a really odd way to go about the situation. Like, oh yeah, we should definitely distill this darkness into a tea and feed it to Osiris. Like, who came up with that idea? That sounds like a terrible plan, but it worked and everything is fine, at least for now. Unless there are, who knows, lingering side effects. I do wonder, one final thing is, like, if Osiris literally just consumed, like, pure darkness extract, is that going to be a part of him? So he lost his light, but is he going to now get darkness powers, whether that is stasis or more than likely strand? We know that a big plot point in Lightfall is us Guardians discovering strands, and it seems likely that Osiris may be involved in that, because we know from the promotional materials he is a NPC that is involved in Lightfall. So this darkness stuff, whatever, that could be leading up into strand things. It could lead into things directly next season. We just don't know that yet. But that is kind of my initial take on this. This should have aired a month ago. I don't know why it was delayed, and we should have been getting a lot more information about the season and the run-up here, other than just, like, sandbox stuff. So I don't know. That's my take. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. I'm curious to see what everyone thinks. It seems on Twitter, when I just posted that there was a cutscene briefly, people were kind of split whether it was awesome and so much stuff happened, or whether it was underwhelming or whatever. But yeah, just let me know. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.